Imagine spending your golden years in a place that doesn't feel like home, where routines are rigid, choices are limited, and your independence slowly fades, not because you want it to, but because the system is designed that way. Too often, seniors are placed into nursing homes out of fear of falling, of forgetting, of being alone. But what gets lost in that decision is something deeply personal: dignity. The quiet dignity of making your own coffee in the morning, of deciding when to read a book or take a nap, of being surrounded by things and people you love, not just caregivers on a schedule. For many older adults, the thought of moving into a nursing facility brings anxiety, sadness, even grief. Not because care isn't important, but because we crave control over our lives. We want to age on our own terms, not be tucked away like we no longer matter. If you or someone you love have ever thought, there has to be a better way, you're absolutely right. The truth is, nursing homes are not the only option. In fact, there are many paths that offer both safety and freedom, support and self-respect. And today, we're going to explore those paths together. Whether you're a senior yourself or caring for someone who is, this video will open doors to new possibilities, options that empower, not restrict, because no one should have to choose between being cared for and being free. Let's take that first step together. Hi there, and welcome to Comfort Corner. I'm Michael, and here on this channel, we believe that aging should never mean giving up on joy, independence, or the dignity you've earned through a life well lived. Whether you're navigating your own retirement or supporting someone you love, our mission is simple: to offer comfort, clarity, and real solutions for seniors who want to live with purpose and peace. Every week, we share thoughtful insights, heart-centered stories, and practical options that make life better, not just longer. Because growing older should be a beautiful chapter, not a fearful one. And today's topic hits close to home for so many families. If you've ever faced the decision of whether a nursing home is the only answer, know this: you have choices, and you deserve to know all of them. So if this is the kind of conversation that speaks to your heart, I'd be honored if you'd consider subscribing. Tap the bell so you never miss a new video. And if something in today's message resonates with you, share it in the comments below. We read everyone, and this community is here to support each other. You can also share this video with someone who might need to hear it, because sometimes, just knowing there are alternatives can lift a heavy weight off someone's shoulders. Now let's dive into the heart of today's message: 7 better alternatives to nursing homes, each one designed to preserve independence, nurture dignity, and bring peace of mind. For many seniors, nothing compares to the comfort of home. It's where your memories live, where every creaky floorboard and corner tells a story. And the idea of leaving that behind? It can feel like losing a part of yourself. That's why one of the most empowering alternatives to a nursing home is simply staying put. This option, known as aging in place, is about more than stubbornness or sentimentality. It's a practical, life-affirming decision that allows older adults to maintain their independence while getting the support they need right where they are. But of course, aging in place safely requires some thoughtful planning, and sometimes a little remodeling. Take, for example, simple home modifications that can make a huge difference. Grab bars in the bathroom can prevent falls. Non-slip flooring can provide peace of mind in kitchens and entryways. Replacing traditional doorknobs with lever handles makes opening doors easier for arthritic hands. Even adjusting lighting levels can reduce eye strain and minimize the risk of trips at night. Then there are larger updates: widening doorways to accommodate walkers, installing stair lifts, or creating a walk-in shower to eliminate the need for stepping over a tub. These aren't luxury upgrades, they're dignity upgrades. And technology is making aging in place even more achievable. Medical alert systems, for instance, let you call for help with the push of a button. Smart home devices can control lights, lock doors, and even monitor medication schedules. With the right setup, you can live alone without ever really being alone. Worried about cost? You're not alone. But there's good news. Programs like Medicaid's Home and Community-Based Services, HCBS, waivers, the VA's Home Improvements and Structural Alterations, HISA, grant, and local nonprofit organizations often help offset these expenses for qualified seniors. Some states even have aging-in-place initiatives that provide assessments and assist with modifications. Consider the story of Margaret, an 82-year-old retired librarian. After her husband passed, friends assumed she'd move into a facility. Instead, she used part of her savings and a small community grant to remodel her kitchen and install a stair lift. She still hosts her monthly book club, bakes her famous cinnamon rolls, and tends to her garden with pride. Her house didn't just become safer, it became a symbol of resilience. Of course, aging in place isn't for everyone. Some health conditions may eventually require more hands-on care than a home can safely provide. But for many seniors in relatively good health or those with the support of a nearby caregiver, it's a powerful way to preserve autonomy and avoid the emotional upheaval of relocation. Because home isn't just where we live, it's where we belong. And with the right tools, support, and a little creativity, that belonging doesn't have to be surrendered with age. So before assuming that a nursing home is the only safe option, consider this. Maybe home just needs to grow with you. Let's take a moment to look back before retirement communities and nursing homes were the norm. Aging parents often lived with their children or extended family. It wasn't considered unusual. In fact, it was a sign of love, respect, and generational strength. And now, that tradition is making a quiet, meaningful comeback. More and more families across the U.S. are rediscovering the power of multi-generational living, and not just for financial reasons. Sharing a home with loved ones can offer something priceless: connection. For seniors, this arrangement provides the reassurance of being surrounded by familiar voices, laughter, and daily interaction. Instead of relying on staff or scheduled visiting hours, you're part of a household rhythm, helping where you can, resting when you need, and staying rooted in the life of your family. But just as important as togetherness is balance. A well-functioning multi-generational household respects everyone's needs, including privacy. That might mean creating a separate in-law suite, renovating a basement, or simply having clearly defined boundaries around shared spaces and routines. Consider how it benefits not just the elder parent, but the entire family. Grandparents often play a treasured role in a child's life. Whether it's helping with homework, telling stories, or just being present, that kind of bond can't be replicated. At the same time, many adult children find peace of mind knowing that mom or dad is just down the hall, not across town, or in an unfamiliar facility. Still, it's important to have open and ongoing conversations before making this kind of change. Will the senior contribute financially or in other ways, like childcare or cooking? How will decisions about healthcare or daily support be handled? What happens if someone's needs increase? These questions can feel heavy, but discussing them early prevents future stress. Take the story of James and Anita, a couple in their 60s who moved into a converted garage apartment built by their daughter. With their own entrance and small kitchenette, they maintained independence, but still joined family dinners a few times a week. Their grandchildren popped in to say hello or get help with a puzzle. It wasn't just convenient, it was joyful. Beyond the emotional rewards, multi-generational living can also offer financial advantages. Pooling resources for a single home can reduce costs for everyone. Utility bills, groceries, property taxes, it all stretches further when shared. And for caregivers, the value of proximity can't be overstated. No long drives, no coordinating multiple appointments in 2 locations, just real-time support. That said, it's not the right fit for every family. Some relationships carry long histories that may not be conducive to daily closeness. That's okay. But for those with strong communication and mutual respect, this living arrangement can be deeply healing and affirming. What it comes down to is this: home isn't defined by walls, but by the people inside them. When seniors are welcomed into a family setting that honors both their wisdom and their individuality, it sends a powerful message. You are still needed, still loved, and still part of the story. What if growing older didn't mean growing lonelier? What if, instead of isolating, retirement opened the door to deeper friendships, mutual support, and vibrant community living without giving up independence? That's exactly what senior co-housing communities aim to provide. And for many older adults, it's a refreshing alternative to the traditional model of aging alone or entering institutional care. Co-housing is a form of intentional living in neighborhood, designed not around isolation, but around connection. In a senior co-housing setup, residents typically have their own private homes or apartments, but share common spaces like kitchens, gardens, workshops, or recreation rooms. Think of it as living with neighbors who aren't just next door, but also part of your life. But unlike assisted living or nursing homes, co-housing is not about medical care. It's about mutual help and shared values. Residents often participate in community decisions, plan events together, and check in on one another not because they're required to, but because they choose to. For many seniors, that sense of agency makes all the difference. Take, for example, Linda, a retired school teacher who decided to move into a senior co-housing village in Oregon. After her husband passed, she found the house too quiet and the days too long. But she wasn't ready for assisted living. In her new community, she has her own cozy cottage and garden plot, plus regular dinners with neighbors and a book club she helped start. She says it feels like college for grown-ups, but with better boundaries and better food. And that's part of the beauty. You're surrounded by peers, not staff. There's no institutional feel, no rigid schedules. You cook your own meals, plan your own days, and still have the reassurance that someone nearby cares if you haven't been seen in a while. These communities are popping up across the U.S., often built by the residents themselves with shared goals in mind: affordability, sustainability, companionship. Some are rural, nestled in nature. Others are urban, close to theaters, shops, and parks. Many include accessibility features by design, step-free entries, wide hallways, and community transport options. What might surprise you next is how affordable some co-housing models can be compared to nursing homes or high-end senior communities. Because residents share costs for maintenance, landscaping, and communal utilities, monthly expenses are often lower. And with everyone pitching in, whether that's helping with a shared garden or organizing movie night, there's a sense of pride and contribution that's hard to find elsewhere. Of course, like any form of communal living, it's not for everyone. It requires flexibility, cooperation, and a willingness to be part of something bigger than yourself. But for those who long for both privacy and people, for autonomy wrapped in community spirit, senior co-housing can be a deeply satisfying option. At the heart of it all is this simple truth: we were never meant to age in silence. We thrive when we feel seen, heard, and included. And co-housing offers not just a roof over your head, but a circle of belonging that many seniors find life-affirming. You don't have to leave your home to get help, and you don't have to surrender your independence to receive care. For many seniors, in-home care services offer the perfect middle ground: support when needed, freedom when it's not. Think of it this way: just like we might hire a housekeeper or a gardener, older adults can hire trained caregivers to assist with specific tasks that have become more difficult with age. It's not about giving up control. It's about making sure you have the right support to stay safe, comfortable, and confident in your own space. In-home care can be as minimal or as involved as needed. Some people just want a friendly companion to drop by a few times a week for conversation, help with groceries, or light housekeeping. Others may need daily assistance with bathing, dressing, meal preparation, or medication reminders. And here's the key: you get to choose what help looks like. Take the story of Robert, a retired jazz musician in his 70s with early-stage Parkinson's. His mornings where the hardest shaky hands made it tough to make breakfast or button a shirt. But with a part-time caregiver who comes in for just 2 hours each morning, Robert keeps living at home, walking his dog, and even composing new music in his home studio. He doesn't feel cared for in a clinical way. He feels supported. There are two main routes to finding care: through an agency or hiring independent caregivers. Agencies handle background checks, training, scheduling, and replacements if someone's sick. They often cost a bit more but bring peace of mind. On the other hand, hiring a private caregiver can be more affordable and flexible. But it also means you're responsible for vetting, managing, and potentially handling payroll or taxes. A good starting point is to assess what kind of help is truly needed. Is it physical assistance, household tasks, transportation, emotional companionship? Many agencies offer free in-home assessments to tailor a plan that fits your situation, not the other way around. One common worry is cost. And yes, in-home care can add up over time, but it's often more affordable than a full-time nursing facility. Plus, some long-term care insurance policies, Medicaid programs, and Veterans Affairs benefits help cover these services. It's worth making a few phone calls. You may be surprised at what's available. What might surprise you next is how personal this kind of care becomes. Many seniors develop deep, lasting friendships with their caregivers. They laugh, share stories, take walks, or work on puzzles together. It's a relationship, not just a service. Safety and trust are essential, of course. Always ask for references, make sure credentials are up to date, and trust your instincts. This is your home, your space, and your well-being. In-home care is a reminder that help doesn't have to mean helpless. Whether it's a few hours a week or daily support, it's about tailoring a solution that lets you continue living life on your terms, with just a little extra assistance where it counts. Because sometimes, the greatest gift is the ability to stay in the home you love, with dignity, routine, and the comfort of knowing you're not alone. When most people hear assisted living, their minds jump to images of strict schedules, sterile halls, and a loss of personal freedom. But that stereotype no longer fits many of today's modern assisted living communities. In fact, some have evolved into vibrant, welcoming places that celebrate independence while providing the support seniors need on their terms. Assisted living today often means having your own private apartment, complete with a kitchen, living area, and bathroom. This personal space is key to preserving your dignity and sense of self. You get to decorate it how you like, maintain your routines, and entertain guests when you want. More importantly, these communities offer flexible, a la carte services. Instead of rigid care plans, you can choose the help you want, whether that's assistance with medication, housekeeping, meal preparation, or transportation. You're not locked into a full package of services. You customize your care around your life. Many assisted living communities also provide a range of activities and social opportunities designed to keep residents engaged and fulfilled. From fitness classes and gardening clubs to movie nights and day trips, these options encourage seniors to maintain an active lifestyle and nurture friendships. Take the example of Helen and George, a couple in their early 80s. They were hesitant at first, worried that assisted living would feel like giving up. But after touring several communities, they found one that felt more like a neighborhood than a facility. They have a spacious apartment, join weekly art classes, and still take weekly day trips to their favorite nearby park. "We don't lose our freedom here," Helen says. "We gain a community." Touring and evaluating assisted living communities takes time, but it's worth it. Pay attention to how staff interact with residents. Are they respectful and warm? Are residents encouraged to make their own choices? Are private spaces truly private? Ask about safety features, medical support, and how emergencies are handled. A good community will invite you to meet current residents and even spend a day there to get a feel for daily life. What might surprise you next is how many of these communities focus on aging in place, meaning they can accommodate your needs as they change over time, reducing the need to move again. Some offer memory care or skilled nursing units right on site, allowing residents to maintain their connections even if they require more support later. Financially, assisted living can be a significant investment, but it often costs less than full nursing homes or hospital stays. It's important to research payment options. Some communities accept Medicaid or veterans benefits. Others offer sliding scale fees, and some have financial counselors to help plan. Ultimately, the best assisted living communities see their residents not as patients or clients, but as neighbors and friends. They strive to create an environment where you can live with purpose, choice, and joy. Because independence doesn't mean going it alone, it means having the right support to live life fully in the place you call home. Imagine a place where you can live comfortably today, with the assurance that the care you might need tomorrow is already there without the disruption of moving multiple times as your needs change. That's the promise of Continuing Care Retirement Communities, or CCRCS. CCRCs are designed to offer a full spectrum of care options within one campus. You start out in independent living, usually a private apartment or cottage, where you enjoy your freedom and social life. Then, if and when you need more support, such as assisted living or skilled nursing care, those services are available on-site. This seamless transition means you can age in one place, surrounded by familiar faces and a supportive community. One of the biggest worries seniors and their families face is the stress of relocation when health declines. Changing homes multiple times can be physically exhausting and emotionally disorienting. CCRCs address this by providing a one-stop solution that grows with you, offering peace of mind for the future. What might surprise you is how vibrant the life can be in a CCRC's independent living section. Far from a quiet retirement, many communities offer a rich calendar of events, fitness classes, hobby groups, cultural outings, and dining experiences that rival fine restaurants. You're encouraged to pursue passions, meet new friends, and stay active on your terms. Take the story of Marjorie, a former nurse who moved into a CCRC at age 70. She enjoys gardening, painting, and book clubs. But knowing skilled nursing care is just a few steps away gives her a sense of security. When her mobility became limited years later, she transitioned smoothly to assisted living without leaving the campus she calls home. Financially, CCRCs often require an entrance fee plus monthly payments. This can be a larger upfront cost than other options, but it includes access to a continuum of care that can save money and worry down the road. Many communities offer different contract types tailored to various budgets and needs. It's important to research and visit CCRCs carefully. Look for transparency in fees, quality of care, staff qualifications, and resident satisfaction. Ask if the community has a waiting list for higher levels of care and how they handle emergencies. At their best, CCRCs provide a blend of autonomy, security, and community that few other options can match. They're ideal for seniors who want to plan ahead, without sacrificing the joy of living fully today. Because aging is a journey, one that deserves both freedom and support, all under one welcoming roof. For many seniors, staying close to family while maintaining privacy and independence is the ideal solution. This is where tiny homes or accessory dwelling units, ADUs, come into play. Small, self-contained living spaces built on the same property as a loved one's home. ADUs might be a cozy backyard cottage, a renovated garage, or a detached small house. They give seniors their own front door, kitchen, and bathroom, creating a true home within a home. The beauty of ADUs is that seniors can enjoy companionship and quick access to family help if needed, but still live life on their own terms. One family's story illustrates this well. Mark, a son living in a suburban neighborhood, built a tiny home in his backyard for his aging father, James. This setup gave James the independence he cherished while providing Mark peace of mind knowing help was close by. James loved being near his grandchildren but also enjoyed the quiet and autonomy of his own space. Building or buying a tiny home or ADU requires some planning. Zoning laws vary by city and county, so it's important to check local regulations and permits before starting. There are also financial considerations, construction or purchase costs, utilities setup, and potential impact on property taxes. Despite these challenges, many families find the emotional and practical benefits outweigh the hurdles. The closeness fosters connection and quick emergency support, but respects boundaries that can be hard to maintain in multi-generational households under one roof. What might surprise you next is how popular this trend is becoming across the US, especially as housing costs rise and families seek creative ways to support aging loved ones. Tiny homes and ADUs blend comfort, independence, and family closeness in a way that honors both dignity and connection. For seniors who want to live near family without losing their own space, this alternative offers a meaningful, modern solution. Let's take a moment to look back at the 7 alternatives to nursing homes we've explored today, each offering seniors the chance to live with independence and dignity. First, we talked about senior co-housing communities, where neighbors become like family, sharing support and companionship in a vibrant, cooperative setting. Then, we explored village networks, grassroots organizations that connect seniors with local services and friendly neighbors, helping them stay active and engaged in their own homes. Next, shared housing showed us how living with trusted roommates can ease loneliness and reduce costs while providing mutual care. We discussed the benefits of in-home care services, which provide personalized support tailored to individual needs, letting seniors stay comfortable at home with help when it matters most. Assisted living communities came next, but not the kind you might imagine. These modern communities focus on flexibility and autonomy, giving seniors private living spaces alongside customizable care. We then examined continuing care retirement communities, CCRCs, places designed to provide a full spectrum of care all on one campus, allowing seamless transitions as needs change. Finally, we looked at tiny homes and accessory dwelling units, ADUs, small, private spaces built near loved ones, combining independence with the comfort of family nearby. So, what can you do today? You don't have to decide on a big change immediately. Start by thinking about what independence means to you and which aspects of your current living situation feel most important. Here are a few small steps to consider. Explore local resources. Look for senior co-housing groups, village networks, or shared housing options in your community. Reach out. Talk with family or neighbors about your desires and concerns. Opening that conversation can reveal possibilities you hadn't considered. Research technology tools. Even simple devices can provide support and peace of mind at home. Visit communities. If you're curious about assisted living or CCRCs, arrange tours to see firsthand what they offer. Remember, the goal isn't to change everything overnight. Just taking one small step today, whether it's making a phone call or jotting down your preferences, can open the door to more independence and peace of mind tomorrow. You deserve a living situation that honors your dignity, your choices, and your unique journey. And it all begins with exploring the possibilities. As we come to the end of this journey exploring alternatives to nursing homes, I want you to remember one important truth. Your independence and dignity matter deeply. Aging doesn't mean giving up on living life fully or losing the right to make your own choices. Whether it's joining a co-housing community, embracing in-home care, moving into a flexible assisted living facility, or creating a tiny home near family, each option shows there are many ways to live with respect, connection, and freedom. Change can feel daunting, but it can also bring hope, renewal, and a brighter future. You're not alone in this. Millions of seniors and families are discovering new paths that honor what matters most: comfort, companionship, and control over your own life. If this video has helped you see possibilities you hadn't considered or sparked a new hope for your next chapter, I encourage you to share it with someone you love. Sometimes, the greatest gift is opening the door to a conversation that leads to positive change. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Comfort Corner. Here we walk alongside you with warmth, understanding, and practical ideas to help you live your best life every day. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Michael from Comfort Corner, wishing you peace, health, and a heart full of hope.